Do you know what's so important about the 8th of May 1945?
Ooh, was it when you were born?
I'm a robot, Squirrel. Also, I'm not over 75 years old.
Was it when Al was born?
On the 8th of May 1945, Britain celebrated that the Allied forces had achieved victory in Europe in the Second World War. The whole country had huge parties to celebrate the fact that the war had been won. Even today, people still remember Victory in Europe Day and call it VE Day for short.
Oh, wow! So the war was over?
Well, the fighting was over in Europe. It took a few months for the war to end completely, though. In August 1945, Japan surrendered, and that was pretty much the end then.
Whoa! I bet people had crazy parties. They must have been stoked to know that the Allies had won.
I imagine they were. People had street parties with lots of food and dancing and music. And huge crowds appeared outside Buckingham Palace to wave at George VI, who was king at the time. Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister, made a special radio broadcast at 3 p.m. to welcome the news.
Gosh, can you imagine, T-Bot? Everybody would have been so happy when they heard what had happened.
The news actually broke the day before. But it was such good news that a bank holiday was declared immediately, so everyone could have the next day off work and school.
The war ended and they had a day off school. That sounds like the best time ever.
You have to remember, Squirrel, that the war had gone on for 6 whole years by this point. Though a lot of people were happy, I imagine some people were just relieved. And some would have taken the time to remember friends and family they'd lost in the fighting. Other people had lost their houses because of bombs, and food rationing had meant that times had been tough.
Oh, of course. Did things get back to normal right away, T-Bot?
Food rationing existed until 1954, when the restrictions on sales of bacon were stopped, and there weren't enough houses for everyone. Also, the war had cost a lot of money, and some kids had missed a lot of school.
Oh no, maybe it never got completely back to normal.
The war definitely changed the world, but the good news was that it did end, and everybody, not just people in Britain, could try to build towards a better, more certain future.
Wow, that's a mad story, T-Bot. I guess we're so lucky that the war ended long before we were born. I can't imagine what it was like to live through the war.
No, me neither, Squirrel. I agree. We're very lucky.
Can we have a street party?
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. What would you like to eat?
Well, jelly, obviously, and cake, and ice cream. And
Are you looking for some resources to help you teach VE Day this year? Well, have I got the perfect resources for you?
Let's start with the Key Stage 2 VE Day Information PowerPoint. Children should know about this monumental day in European history, as it was a defining moment in World War II, as it marked the end of the conflict in Europe. Using this VE Day Key Stage 2 PowerPoint will help children to understand what it was like in that time for normal people, as well as those who were involved in this devastating conflict. Alternatively, the VE Day PowerPoint pack is a great overview of the celebration in Britain during VE Day 1945 and includes a diary task based on a photo of a VE Day street party. Included in the pack is also a success criteria sheet and keywords to support the extended writing task. The Key Stage 2 VE Day differentiated reading comprehension activity is perfect for learning about the significance of VE Day with your upper Key Stage 2 children. Use these reading comprehensions to help children learn about the historic events of VE Day in a fun and engaging way. You could use this resource as a reference point, a discussion starter, or even as a handout to your children to take home for a home learning activity. This reading activity resource is differentiated 3 ways and has answers included to make your life easier. Finally, the VE Day resource pack for ages 7 to 11 includes everything for a fun VE Day celebration, whether you're at home or in school. This pack is perfect if you're learning about World War II. Start by decorating your home or classroom with the Union Jack bunting, then find out about VE Day and why it was celebrated with the fact file and information PowerPoint. Then have a go at cracking the Morse code to reveal the secret message. Colour in the VE Day colouring sheets and make a Spitfire glider. This pack contains these resources and much more. Perfect for keeping your children busy during the VE Day celebrations. As you can see, Twinkl have a wide selection of VE Day resources. Whatever you need, there's sure to be a resource for you.
So I hope you've enjoyed this video and you can use these resources in your classroom. Thanks for watching and I'll see you again.